Okay, here's a video about crashing. Not all types of crashes, just mine and my friends. All types of bikes, doesn't matter, it still catches you out. So let's dig deep into this problem, because it is a real problem out on the country roads. Hi, my name's Kevin, KJ's Moto. So we're talking about gravel and blue metal and what it is and how we can spot it, hopefully in time, and what we can do or try and do to avoid the crashing. Yeah, it catches anybody out because it's sort of like this unseen hazard on the road, and especially the blue metal, not so much the gravel because of the colour. Quite simply, the colour of the gravel, you can spot it early. It's not really a drama, and I'll explain a little bit later about that. But the blue metal is so hidden, you hit a corner and before you know it, you're on the ground because the front end's washed out because the blue metal was loose on top of the new road. Okay, about the damage to this bike was caused by my friend. He was doing a road trip, unknown roads, and he went into a corner. There was gravel on the bend itself. The front end washed out and down he went. He bought a new fairing kit, and that was the result of the crash. And the fairing kit I bought with the bike, and it's been really good. Beautiful bike, and the fairing kit was pretty near perfect. Anyway, second one, a friend of mine, he was the ride leader of our group ride. Same thing in a way. It was a familiar road, but they had done road work since we'd been down there before with no signs. And he went into the first corner of the beginning of the road works, and the blue metal was on the road, and he lost the front end and it went across the road into the ditch. And the third one, which was me way back when I lived in New South Wales in the Royal National Park, I was the ride leader of just my mates, and I went around this one particular bend, and it was the same. They had started the roadworks at the exit of the corner while you're still leant over, just standing the bike up to power on. You hit the blue metal. No signs again. The bike did a fishtail at first on the front, and then the back end started to slide, and the bike spun right around, and I landed on the ground. And it was really funny actually. This guy came running down the road, and he goes, "Oh, you're the..." I can't remember how many bikes had crashed before me, but he said, "Oh, you've gone the furthest up the road," doing this snaking up through the gravel before I finally lost it. It was bloody hell. And again, I never saw no signs, nothing. So let's try and understand what they do about the signs as well. But getting back to the gravel, we'll do the gravel first because that's a little bit more easier to understand. Now, a lot of the country roads in Australia, they use the products and the materials that are available to them nearby, and so a lot of them is gravel for the base, and then they put the bitumen down, and then the blue metal, or aggregate if you want to call it its proper name, on top. And so what happens is the trucks and the trailers, they cut the corners in the windy roads, and they drag the gravel up onto the road. And then the car traffic clears away the gravel on the corner and gives you those wheel tracks on the corner. So you can spot that pretty easily because of the colour, and if you keep into the wheel track that's already been formed by the cars, you can get around okay. Now, if your line doesn't match the line of the corner that the cars have produced of a clean strip, don't worry, don't panic. You can cross over, the front end will move, and then as it gets into the clean part, it'll get its traction back, and then the back will move, slip, and then it will get the traction. So if you don't do anything really, don't panic and stand the bike up, or don't brake, but just let it go. You'll feel the front end go and then come back, and the back end as well. So it's okay, you know, like as long as you don't panic and grab the brake or anything like that in a big way, you can get through it because you'll get your traction back, okay? That's what I found many times on the road where you know, your line just didn't match up with what it was there because you didn't see it until the last second. So that's my tip for the red gravel. Now, I used to have a truck business for 10 years, tippers, semi-tippers, and we used to do actually road works a fair bit, and in that part of the road work job was a process called metal spreading. And what it is granite from the quarries crushed to different sizes, and we just call it blue metal, and that is embedded into the bitumen. So the road is prepared with maybe lime. In WA here it's limestone base because that is best for the moisture. So the base is limestone, and then above it could be the crushed gravel, the red gravel, and then the seal of the hot bitumen, and then the stones, the granite. Well, there's another one, diorite, different colours. One's slightly darker than the other. So you drive the truck along in reverse, and the metal spreading box lays down the stones. And then after that, the rollers go and push the stones into the bitumen. But it doesn't get it all in. And then when the job is finished, you've still got the blue metal on top that is loose. And that's the big killer. And if you've got a car, you see those stone damaged, broken windscreens. But for us, it's losing the front end basically on the first corner in the beginning of the roadworks. Now, how it works when I was doing it was that at the end of the job, they would leave a roadworks sign, but maybe knock down, lay down all the other signs like be prepared to stop, flashing red lights, or traffic lights, I should say, not flashing lights, but traffic lights, mobile, speed limits, of course. But then at the end of the job, everyone packs up, but they might just leave this one sign, roadworks, and that's the only clue that you've got to coming into the corner. Sometimes if you're really lucky, they'll have a stone sign, just one stone, but they remove or lay down all the other signs. Now they've got to do that because the job isn't actually finished. They can't remove the signs until the job is fully finished, so they might have to do some curbing or some sort of other culvert work or stuff like that. So they've been working during the week. We go for a ride on the weekend and there's only one sign, roadworks. And if you don't spot it, if you don't really pay attention, it's only moments away before you hit the blue metal because you can't see it because it's built up onto the corners, and they leave a certain amount of blue metal loose on the surface as well, so that the car traffic will move the stones around and sort of give it a bit of a spread into the gaps and stuff like that. So it's, you know, you'd think they would metal spread and then sweep it straight away, but they don't. They let the loose stones work their way into the bitumen, and this is what catches us out. And if you see in the clip there of my friend when he fell off, you can see how much loose stones are still in the curbing, just caught on the side of the road where it's built up on the curbs as well. This is the problem for us riders. There was one road trip that we did down south and came into a corner and there was no signs, but there was orange cones on the left-hand side. Now this is what I'm talking about. The things can vary, except, well, I didn't see a sign. None of the guys saw a sign, but there were just some cones around the corner as we approached it. And they were doing the curbing. So they were doing the road, the actual road surface itself, and they were making it wider. So they were doing an inside curb, and all there was just the cones marking the concrete curb, but there was nothing about roadworks, there was nothing about gravel, there was nothing about stone chips. And you can see I braked heavily on the front end first and then let the front brake off as soon as I dropped into the gravel, and I still got the back brake on, and you can hear that I locked up twice before then I made the actual turn. So that's what happened there. But like I said, there was no signs, just cones in this particular case. So you never can quite tell it. And you know, we complain so much about road signs all over the countryside with no one working on them. But this is right at the end of the job on these country roads that they've, you know, they're sort of nearly packed up, but not quite. So what can you do? Well, there's only a few clues, right? Like I said, there might be just one sign, so just have to be 100% aware that there might only be one roadwork sign of the danger coming in ahead of you. If it's just a country road and there's dotted lines running down the centre and all of a sudden they stop, that's the new work. And brake hard. Just try and wash off as much speed as you can. This is why practicing emergency braking is so important. And cars can, you know, they say a car pull out on you and all that, but it's also the unforeseen things. So if you're quite comfortable in braking hard with your bike, you know what it will do, and you know the feeling of braking hard, that's what you've got to do straight away. Brake hard, and then as you get closer to the gravel, let off the front brake, but keep with the back brake on. And that's really the top tip out of all this, actually, is just your braking. It can save you. But it's not all doom and gloom. That 7mm blue metal does build up like the gravel, so you will have a car track of clean blue metal underneath it. So if you can spot it after you've washed off enough speed, you'll still get around. So once again, don't panic, but you need to do something immediately. This has just been a little series of my tips on what I've learned over the years and years and years. And I really appreciate the comments. I see every comment, by the way. They all come through on my phone at any time of day. So I appreciate all the comments, and I will see you in the next one. My name's Kevin, KJ's Moto. See you guys. Take care and have a good weekend.